Okay, we're sketching out a value scale. So I'm just going to start with 6 boxes. I may add a 7th box at the end, but I basically just drew a big rectangle and kind of divided it off. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be a section so that I can kind of see a progression of value with my coffee. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start putting coffee on. You can use a spoon or you can use your fingers. Your fingers gets kind of messy, but I usually end up doing that. And then I'm gonna wet a brush. And I usually use my bigger brush at first. And put some water beside the coffee. I don't wanna put it right on top of it. And then I wanna slowly mix the coffee into the water at the edge. I don't wanna mix it all the way. And I'm just trying to get a really, really light value. And one of the things you're going to notice when we're having to build these values is everything starts out really light and then you have to keep building layers and layers. So when I started to paint the next box, I noticed it was pretty dark. So I skipped a box and I put that darker layer into the 3rd box. And then I'm going to go back and blend out the other one so that it's a lighter. It was too big of a jump. I wanted a little bit more of a progression. So now I've got some water. I kind of squeezed off some of the water so it wouldn't run all over. And I'm blending out the coffee grounds from before so that it's a lighter value. So just to notice, as I'm getting that blended in, I try to get rid of all the really chunky coffee grounds and kind of try to blend those in as I work. I'm going to keep layering and layering. Here's where it gets a little frustrating for people who want things to happen really quickly, because you just have to keep building layers. There is no really fast way to do it. But by the end, it looks a lot more developed, kind of like our glass drawing did as we built up slowly. If you jump to black really quickly or dark, it's hard to get it to go lighter. So, and besides with coffee, it doesn't really do that. You have to kind of build it up. I'm going to keep building layers until I get a progression of at least 6 boxes. I'm pretty sure I put a black watercolor palette in everybody's bag, but if you didn't get that, please email me and let me know, and we'll get that to you. But I'm mixing a little bit of black with the coffee, trying to build it up slowly. I think here in a minute I start too light and I notice that I have to go a little darker. But it's better to start too light than, see right here I notice, oh, that's going to be too light. So then I'm going to build in a little bit of darkness. But it's easier to do that than going too dark too quick. I don't want to add in too much black. I still want it to be a brown. I just want it to be a dark brown. I'm just going to keep building. It takes a while to build it up. And I decided to go ahead and add that darker box. I'm starting with a little bit of black, then kind of slowly adding the brown into the black. So I can see if I can get like a little bit of, I'm gonna do a landscape, so I wanna make sure that I've got a full range of value. So I'm trying to make sure I can jump to that dark. Okay, I'm almost finished with my value scale. I'm just kind of tweaking the color to make sure that everything's more of a progression. Just kind of trying to make everything be not too big of a jump. And I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the layers. I think that's going to work with the landscape that I'm going to create. And I wanted to show you guys how to use the cornstarch that's in your materials bag. So the cornstarch, all it does is it makes stuff really, really smooth. It like blends smoothly. But if you put too much into it, it also lightens the layers. So like you have to be careful not to put too much in. I just wanted to show you so you could experiment with it. If I was doing a highly detailed drawing, I probably would use the cornstarch just to build up layers, just because it makes it a little smoother and it's a little bit less chunky. It kind of takes the little coffee grounds and kind of blends them out. It makes it a lot easier. I don't know if it works as well with the darks though. You'll have to experiment with it and see what you think. But here in a minute, I do try it with the gray, and it does make it smooth. It makes it smooth, but it makes it lighter. So you just have to watch. Okay, here I'm trying to practice a little bit using just the tip of my brush. I don't have as much water on, but I have just enough to where it'll flow. And so one of the things you can do is put your fist underneath your hand that you're painting with. So it kind of props it up a little higher so that you have a little bit more of a 90-degree angle. And if you roll the paint like that, it works a lot better.